Hey everyone, welcome back to the Business Growth Club podcast. Today we'll explore how to validate your next business idea. When we embark on a business venture, whether it's launching a new product or service, a surge of ideas and energy flows. This period is both exhilarating and perilous for your business. Why? Because if you fail to validate that the market genuinely desires and is willing to pay for your product, you'll face significant consequences. You'll have invested substantial resources, including time, energy and money, in creating and developing your product. The risk is substantial. If your product fails miserably, you'll lose valuable time, money, or even 6 months' worth of earnings. This can be disheartening and lead to a decision to abandon the project altogether. I'm your host today, Mick Foster, from Purple Yak, the business coaching firm behind the Business Growth Club. Here we empower small businesses like yours to grow and scale with insight, education and advice. We work with hundreds of entrepreneurs like you every single day, and we bring their questions and learnings to this podcast to help more business owners to grow and thrive. As an entrepreneur, it's crucial to prioritize idea validation. Before embarking on a new venture, take the time to validate your ideas. I personally had to validate numerous ideas before launching Purple Yak, my successful business coaching firm. Even with Purple Yak, I continue to validate programs and courses before proceeding with development and launch. In today's session, I'll guide you through the process of validating your next business idea, product, service, or any other concept. By following these steps, you can save yourself time, money, and effort in finding a valuable and successful venture. Now, I want to emphasize the importance of using the word next. Because if you've already started your first business or product, you've already gained valuable insights into the process. You've learned from your mistakes and made progress through your efforts. The next time round, you'll be more cautious and deliberate in your approach. This lesson is specifically designed to help you avoid the pitfalls of the past and make informed decisions for your future endeavors. Now, when I say validate, I mean you're absolutely certain that people will pay for your product, regardless of what it is. I understand you might be wondering, Mick, how can I sell something before actually creating it? And how will I deliver it to my customers? The answer is simple. Ask for their money up front. This is called a pre-sale, and it's common practice. Back in 2019, I used this method to validate the need for Purple Yak programs. I approached local small businesses and I explained that I had something that could help them grow their businesses. I asked them to join me and pay to become a founding community member, which will give them first access to all programs. And here's the catch. It was a special discounted rate. It was that simple. While you can certainly use a slideshow to showcase your product or service, you can also create mock-ups, designs, or even walk them through the process if it's a service. For coaching or training, you can show them the results. This is what people really want. They're pre-buying results. Remember, your product or service is going to produce a result, a transformation. At the end of the day, people will buy the promises of the solution. So if you can sell that promise and people actually want it, then you know you have a valid idea. Now, I'm going to guide you through the process of getting up to that point where you can pre-sell your product or service. Let's say you have an idea and want to ensure that people actually want it. The easiest way to know if someone wants something is to find out if they need it. If there's a problem you're solving with your product, does that problem even exist? So, if you have a current email list or customer base, you can ask them. Say something like, "Hi, what are some of the things that you hate about fill in the blank?" This should be the area that your product or solution solves. For instance, let me walk you through what I did with Purple Yak back in 2019. We asked local business owners, what do you hate about trying to grow your business? What do you find difficult about growing your business? We also asked them about their current methods. We then asked, how are you currently trying to grow your business? What's the platforms or systems that you're using to do this? We asked open-ended questions to learn more about the friction points. We identified areas that frustrated them. We learned that people struggle to grow their business consistently because it was challenging, time-consuming and expensive. They also kept trying new things without sticking with any one solution. You may not agree with the answers that you hear from your customers. Honestly, that's just tough. Your customers are the source of your money, therefore their perception is fact, as far as they care. You could try and change this, but it's time-consuming and often doesn't really work. However, you need to turn these perceptions into your messaging and then use them to show your product or solution and how it can help them to overcome these perceptions. Now, once you've identified a problem that your product or service can solve for someone, you need to pre-sell it. And it's actually quite straightforward. Invite your most loyal customers to a webinar. During the webinar, you'll simply present and demonstrate what the product is. You can use slides, mock-ups, and examples. You can also share testimonials from past clients and results, such as before and after pictures or a video of your clients reviewing your products or service. Although you don't have to have a product yet, you need to validate that people are willing to pay for it. It's easy for someone to express their love for an idea when presented to them, but they won't actually have to put their money out if they don't want to have it. You need to ensure that they're willing to pay for it, even if it's at a discounted rate. Many companies offer a founder's discount. For instance, the first 100 customers might receive 50% discount during the first year. This significant discount encourages people to invest and take a leap of faith that that product will turn out to be quite good. However, it also ensures that people have skin in the game. They're actually putting up money so that they can use your product when it's released. Essentially, you're making an offer. Don't worry about how you'll charge them. This is something you should keep simple. Even if it's just a PayPal link or a button that you can create on your website with the likes of like Stripe or PayPal, for example. When your product, service, or whatever it is that you're getting ready to be delivered, you can then determine how to deliver to the people who paid via us. Look at the receipts and their email addresses. This person paid for a pre-order. Let's give them access. Keep it simple. If you're on a webinar and someone expresses interest, I like to say at least 5%, encourage them to buy. So if you have 100 people on your webinar and 5 buyers, that means that you have some traction. Any more than that is just incredible. If you have 10 or 15 buyers, it means that you've struck a really good chord. Now you can build and develop your product. What you do next is keep those customers, your founding customers, informed as you build, progress, and get closer to a delivery date. You should have an estimate of how long it should take and say something like, it'll be ready for you in 4 to 6 weeks. Give yourself a range. You'll need to discuss this with your team, if you have one, to find out how long it will actually take. If you're building it yourself, you need to allow for enough time to account for potential snags or issues that may occur. But the point here is that you're having them join you on the journey. This is what we've built so far. We're getting closer. You can share screenshots here and there, and you can do this on a Facebook group or via email. The point here is to keep these founding members excited. Another thing you can do is offer a money-back guarantee. If, after 30 days, you're not satisfied with the product, you can get a full refund. The purpose here is to encourage people to invest in the idea and validate the concept. If they do, we gain validation, allowing us to proceed with actually creating a product or service. Validating the idea is crucial. In the real world, with real customers and real money, is essential to ensure that the product or service offers value that people are willing to pay for. Otherwise, it's not a viable business or product. Ultimately, a successful product or business is when people are willing to part with their hard-earned money in exchange for something they value. If you don't provide enough value, they won't be willing to invest enough money. Therefore, it's necessary to stop, go back to the drawing board, retool, pivot, and figure out what they're willing to purchase. This approach will save you a significant amount of time, effort, and money, and headaches because you won't have to build, launch, and then discover that a product or service isn't well received. Instead, you'll gather feedback, use it to build and launch a more successful product or service. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning into the Business Grow Club. If you found value in today's episode, make sure to subscribe and share with fellow entrepreneurs. If you've got any burning questions, reach out on our social channels or email me, michael@purpleyak.co.uk. Thanks so much for listening. Take care.